Hello, I'm Rob Nichols. I'm the Executive Director of the Dahlonega-Lumpkin County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for taking the time to watch our annual State of the City and County programs presented by Northside Forsyth Hospital. We have partnered with Fetch Your News, and this program will be available on their website and our Facebook and YouTube channels. The Dahlonega-Lumpkin County Chamber of Commerce mission is to increase prosperity, attract visitors, advocate for all businesses, and develop leaders to promote the welfare of our community. We advocate for all businesses through our Government Affairs Committee, chaired by Chuck Jones, that organizes such events as Dahlonega-Lumpkin County Day at the Capitol, State of Education, State of the State, and candidate forums. Our programs and events aren't possible without the support of our sponsors, partners, and volunteers. We'd like to thank Northside Hospital Forsyth for being our presenting sponsor, and we'll now watch a commercial from them.
Rising to meet the needs of the communities it serves, Northside Hospital is dawning a new day in healthcare.
Our gold sponsor for this program is Truist Bank. Chuck Jones is going to tell us about Truist Bank.
At Truist, our purpose is to inspire and build better lives in communities. Truist has its roots in community banking, and as the sixth largest commercial bank, we see supporting our communities as our duty. This is evidenced by how we corporately and individually dedicate our time, energy, and resources. We are a proud member of the Dahlonega-Lumpkin County Chamber of Commerce, and we're proud to be the gold sponsor for the State of the City and the State of the County again this year. Thank you very much.
Our bronze sponsor is Kinetic by Windstream, and Nicole Payne is going to join us and tell us a little bit about Kinetic by Windstream.
On behalf of the Kinetic by Windstream team, I would like to thank you, Rob, and the Chamber for allowing us the opportunity to participate in this great event. Lumpkin County is home to many of our employees, one of our retail stores, and our local operations centers. We've made substantial investments in upgrading our network to gig speeds, providing services to more than 7,000 households, including 25, 50, and 100 meg services to more than 12,000 households. And we continue to invest. I would encourage you, if you're in the community and interested in faster speeds, contact us at our local retail store. Again, thank you for this opportunity. We look forward to continuing to work with you and the community leaders that we will hear from today. Thank you.
Our Government Affairs Committee Chair is Chuck Jones. Chuck is the Chief Operating Officer and leads the combined dealer financial services line of business for Truist Bank. This includes responsibility for serving auto dealers with their indirect auto lending needs for Heritage SunTrust Bank and Heritage Bank BB&T Dealer Finance, now both part of Truist. Chuck joined SunTrust Banks, now Truist, in December 2014 as head of National Indirect Lending. He is an accomplished financial executive that started his career in January 1982. Chuck has significant experience in leading large-scale transformations and building efficient business models. Chuck leads dealer financial services to build innovation and lead the customer to client journey to benefit all areas across SunTrust Banks, now Truist. He has served as compliance officer and in credit cards, real estate, student lending, servicing direct lending, as well as experience leading large-scale indirect lending teams in his career. Chuck is a graduate of Sam Houston State University, where he earned a BBA in finance in 1981. In 1985, he completed the ABA Retail Lending School at the University of Oklahoma. In 2011, Chuck was inducted into the Hall of Honor for the College of Business Administration at Sam Houston State University for his service to the university, community, and industry, and in 2019, he was named Distinguished Alumnus. Chuck has served as the American Financial Services Association as past chairman of the Vehicle Finance Board in 2019 to 2020, and as a former member of the Board of Directors, Executive Committee, and currently serves on the Vehicle Finance Committee. He serves as the Consumer Banking Association Auto Finance Committee and TransUnion Auto Advisory Board. Chuck is a frequent speaker at auto finance industry events and is sought out for his expertise. In addition, Chuck also serves on the Advisory Council for the College of Business Administration at Sam Houston State, board member for the Dahlonega-Lumpkin County Chamber of Commerce, and chairperson for the Government Affairs Committee and Development Authority of Lumpkin County, Georgia. In January 2019, Jones was named the Dahlonega-Lumpkin County Chamber Tourism Bureau Volunteer of the Year and Government Affairs Volunteer of the Year in 2018. Chuck and his wife, Debbie, have sponsored 195 college sponsorships since 2002 at Seminole State College, Sam Houston State University, and the University of North Georgia. He and his wife reside in Dahlonega, Georgia, and have one daughter, Lauren, who is 35. Chuck will be introducing our speakers tonight.
Chairman Chris Dougherty has a broad range of experience and has demonstrated success in leading, managing, and operating in various organizations both in the military and in civilian life. Chairman Dougherty has owned and operated a construction business for more than 25 years, specializing in the build and design of custom homes. Chairman Dougherty served his country and retired as a lieutenant colonel of the United States Army Reserve, having served in various roles, such as an Army officer, as a public affairs officer, inspector general, and leading an armor company. Chairman Dougherty has served or serves as chairman of the Development Authority, the Lumpkin County Water and Sewer, the Board of Trustees for the Association of County Commissioners, the Group Self-Insurance Workers' Compensation Fund, a member of their Legislative Policy Council, Economic Development and Transportation Committees, a member of the Georgia Mountains Regional Commission, and a member of the Regional Workforce Development Board, and is currently serving his second term as the chairman of the Lumpkin County Board of Commissioners.
Good afternoon. My name is Chris Dougherty. I'm the chairman of the Lumpkin County Board of Commissioners. And before we start, I want to tell you that it's a true honor to serve as your commission chairman. And I hope that this information that I provide today is both informative and positive for everyone that's watching. We'll start by giving a little snapshot of Lumpkin County, a little demographics. The population is estimated for Lumpkin County as 33,610. As of November 2020, the unemployment rate for Lumpkin County was 3.2%. We anticipate that the new numbers come out will be slightly higher because of the pandemic and other factors that usually occur during the winter months. Lumpkin County has issued 830 business licenses for this year, and we currently have a AA2 bond rating, which is a very good bond rating and not very common among county governments. We have 9 active grants that total $1.7 million. And in 2021, we have an annual budget of $23,811,720. $23,811,720. On the revenue side of that budget, 75% of those funds come from taxes. 14% come from charges for services. And the rest of the revenue is made up by fines, permits, investments, donations, and various other sources. On the expenditure side of the budget of that $23.8 million, 42% of that is dedicated to public safety. That would include both your Sheriff's Department, your fire, and your EMS. 22% of the expenditures goes to general government, while 8.5% goes to the judicial system. 7.5% of that overall budget is dedicated to public works, and the rest is spent on various services such as recreation, health and welfare, and development. Let's talk a little bit about the 2020 SPLOST that really helps our community in special projects. To start with, $4.7 million of that 2020 SPLOST is dedicated to the Judicial Center and the payment of that building. $2 million is dedicated to economic development, while $1.9 million is dedicated to roads and bridges, vehicles for the public works, resurfacing, and various road improvements. $1 million of the 2020 SPLOST is dedicated to the Lumpkin County Library, while $1.2 million is dedicated to the Sheriff's Department for equipment and vehicles. The Water Authority accounts for $4 million for expansion of their infrastructure. The total estimated of the Lumpkin County SPLOST projects totals $14.9 million. The Dahlonega portion of the total SPLOST projects will account for $3.9 million for a total of $18.9 million for the 2020 SPLOST. And I'm sure the mayor will expand on those SPLOST projects for the city. Let's move on and talk a little about the 2019 transportation special purpose local option sales tax. This was a 1% sales tax that was approved by the voters. And there's $4 million of that T-SPLOST, if you will, that is dedicated to a joint project between the city of Dahlonega and Lumpkin County, and this is a much-needed roundabout near the high school at the intersection of Oak Grove Road and Highway 19 North Business. In addition to this joint project, Lumpkin County has dedicated $6.8 million to roads and bridges, and that is primarily for paving, striping, road maintenance, and also various other construction improvements of our road system. In addition to the $6.8 million for paving, we've dedicated $1.8 million to equipment for road maintenance. This includes items such as mini excavators, spreader trucks, debris trucks, mini excavator attachments, if you will, that make those more usable, as well as various paving equipment. I've often said if you want to know how to do things most efficiently, you watch the private sector. During various storms, we watched the private sector that was hired by Lumpkin County clean up, and one of the most efficient ways to get the storm debris is with a debris truck. This is basically a container truck with a self-contained boom. So when you pull up, you have one piece of equipment, you load the debris, you move on. So we learned from those private contractors, and we can implement that in-house and save the taxpayers a lot of money by doing so. So in addition to those SPLOST projects, we have several other capital improvement projects that I would like to share with you. And first, a project was completed in 2019. I know we're in 2021, but we completed a $700,000 senior center expansion in 2019. This gave a lot more space for senior programs, in addition to expanding and modernizing our kitchen so that we could serve those underserved seniors in our community with meals. We were also able to complete in 2019 a splash pad at Yahoo Creek Park. This is down by the river. It's completely free for anyone who wants to participate, and it's a great place for our kids to enjoy the summer. In 2020, we completed the library, and I'm proud to say that we completed the library under budget and ahead of schedule. In this very building that I'm standing, the community center, we upgraded our lighting from regular incandescent and fluorescent to LED lighting. This saves on our energy bills. It also is the environmentally responsible thing to do as a government. Capital projects that we're currently working on include the Kelly building. This is what a lot of people know as the old library. And this Kelly building is being renovated and will be a one-stop shop for development services. Also, we're working on the Catrella Aquatic Center. We anticipate construction to start spring of this year, spring of 2021, with a projected completion date of May 2022. This project was made possible by a generous donation by Mike and Lynn Catrella, so I'd like to take an opportunity to publicly thank them for their commitment to Lumpkin County and our citizens. Talk a little bit about road maintenance. I think it's important to know that your local government maintains 346 miles of paved county roads and 46 miles of gravel roads. During Hurricane Zeta, we cleaned over 2,655 cubic yards of road debris in-house with county employees. We have a 24-hour on-call staff to respond to safety issues such as trees in the road, ice, snow, flooding, various issues that need to be addressed that provide safety concerns for Lumpkin County and her visitors. If you're out on county roads almost any day, 12 months out of the year, you'll see our crews out mowing the shoulders and the right-of-way, and this is being done at a rate that's never been done before, and this is a result of the T-SPLOST funding that we have to be able to buy more equipment so that we can complete more work in a shorter period of time. So I think if you ride the county roads and you observe that, you would have to say that they are probably in better shape than they've ever been, and this is a result of that additional funding. We continually maintain and repair drainage ditches, culverts, grade gravel roads, patch potholes as required, constantly replacing and maintaining road signage. And it's also important to know that in 2020, we paved over 25 miles of road. We typically in the past have been able to pave around 10 to 12 miles annually, but with the additional funding from the 2019 T-SPLOST, we were able to more than double the amount of miles that were paved. Our staff, our county engineer and county road staff, were able to get an additional $128,000 of funding from the Georgia Department of Transportation to be used for safety projects such as additional striping and signage on various county roads. So we're certainly glad to receive that additional funding, and we want to thank our staff for their hard work and dedication to get that additional funding. I also want to mention that we have a civil engineer on staff. We have a county engineer that's able to save you as taxpayers a lot of money over the course of the year. Some of the things that we're able to do in-house that otherwise we would have to hire out to a third party include traffic studies, speed limit studies, road evaluations, the administration of contract bidding, and construction supervision. We're also able to use our county engineers for various projects such as the civil design of the Aquatic Center site. All of this would have to be hired out to third parties if we weren't able to do that in-house. So that within itself saves the taxpayers a lot of money. Moving on to emergency services, one of the most important things when we talk about fire protection is the ISO rating. It should be known that the countywide ISO rating is a 4. If you are over 5 miles from a fire station, that rating goes to a Class 10. A Class 10 is not desirable, but as you go further from a fire station, which is pretty typical in a rural setting, then you can expect that higher ISO rating. The county currently has 9 fire stations. Of those 9 fire stations, 5 of those are manned. They're staffed stations. It's also important to mention that we have aid agreements with various counties and agencies that surround us. We have an automatic aid agreement with Camp Frank D. Merrill and Fort Benning, where they would respond as if they were a additional station for our county. We have mutual aid agreements with Dawson County, White County, Hall County, and Union County, where we help them, they help us. I also would like to mention the fact that as part of our service delivery agreement with the City of Dahlonega, they contribute $50,000 annual to our fire and EMS. Talk a little about Gateway, the 400 Gateway corridor development. And I mainly want to talk about the water and sewer aspect of that. If you remember when we were talking about the 2020 SPLOST, we noted that over $4 million have been dedicated to water and sewer infrastructure. So as we talk about that 400 corridor, it's important to know that there is a 12-inch main water line that feeds that corridor. That 12-inch main water line is connected to the City of Dahlonega and their treatment plant, and we know we have a sufficient amount of water in our reservoir. There's also sewer infrastructure in that corridor. It should be noted that there's a lift station on the south side of 400, and it goes to a current membrane package plant. The current capacity of that membrane package plant is 50,000 gallons a day. The current usage of that membrane package plant is 6,000 gallons a day. A little simple math will tell you that they can increase their flow by 44,000 gallons a day. And you should also be informed that that plant is expandable to 75,000 gallons a day, which would give you an additional 15,000 gallons on top of the 44. Some current projects that the Water Authority is working on includes water line expansion along the Castleberry Bridge area. We're seeing a lot of residential growth in this area, and as we hook those customers up from this growth, it's certainly an economy to scale that makes our water system more efficient and more affordable. In addition to the expansion along Castleberry Bridge, we're also expanding along Highway 115 and 52. This would be in the area of Long Branch, where we're tying to Lumpkin County School. We're also tying to various subdivisions, and then that water would be there for future economic development along that corridor. So all of these expansions tie back to the water system for the city of Dahlonega. So currently, over 40% of the county water authority customers are hooked to that water system from the city of Dahlonega. And we continue to try to hook those little isolated pockets together so that the whole system becomes more efficient. In 2020, our county manager, Stan Kelly, started the Lumpkin 101 Citizens Academy. And you may ask, what is the Lumpkin 101 Citizens Academy? This is a program that's designed to foster citizen and community engagement among Lumpkin County government and its residents. It's an opportunity for our residents to learn the public programs and services that are provided by the local government. So this is a program that we plan to keep going. It was very successful even with the COVID pandemic. It was very successful in 2020, and we anticipate that it will be even more successful in 2021. This registration will open in early summer, so we certainly would encourage you to look into that more and learn more about your local government. And then certainly, last but certainly not least, I'll talk a little bit about the COVID-19 vaccination update. I think it's important for everybody to understand that the vaccination efforts in the city or in the state of Georgia are being ran by the Department of Public Health. Our local health department, although it's funded locally, partially funded locally, belongs to District 2 of the Georgia Department of Public Health. So after initial issues with testing and scheduling and the distribution of the vaccines, the county and the state Department of Public Health are beginning to work out some of those communication issues. Depending on the availability of the vaccine, the county will be assisting the health department in the regularly scheduled Moderna vaccinations beginning over the next several weeks. Now, please understand that this is help resources that our county has offered for several weeks already to the Department of Public Health, and we continue to reach out to try to support and assist them any way possible. But the vaccination program falls under the Georgia Department of Public Health. We continue to offer our resources to help the Georgia Department of Public Health in their efforts to administer these vaccines. The health department is currently vaccinating citizens over 65 and older. And Saturday, tomorrow, in this very building, January 30th, Saturday, January 30th, here at Park and Rec, the community center, as some of you know it, there is an event to vaccinate over 500 senior citizens. So I'm sure I'll be here, the mayor will be here. I know there will be lots of workers from the Department of Public Health as well as volunteers. So that event is tomorrow. Those appointments are already scheduled. So I'm not sure that there would be an opportunity to get that vaccination if you haven't already scheduled your appointment. Beginning February 8th, those vaccinations will move from the local health department, and the county has offered up the Lumpkin County Senior Center, which has been closed because of the pandemic, and then those vaccinations will come from, will be given at the Lumpkin County Senior Center. And I'll also add that I stopped by the local health department yesterday. I'd heard some complaints about people not answering the door, not being able to come in, and this is what I found when I went down there. There were 5 people that walked up at the same time as myself. There were 2 elderly couples and an elderly lady. The first couple knocked on the door was answered, they walked in. The person that answered the door asked the second couple to wait because they had a limited number of people that they were allowing in. Less than 2 minutes later, someone exited the building, and those people were allowed to move to the inside. I talked to the lady that answered the door. She told me that they were administering about 100 vaccinations Monday through Thursday, but not as many on Friday because they closed at noon every Friday. There was a number, a 188 number that was posted on the door. I asked her if that's how a person should schedule the vaccination. She said that that's the number that they should call, but that number would often say that it was out of order or was disconnected, but that people should keep calling. She said that the other method to scheduling that vaccination would be on the internet. So I guess you could go to the Department of Public Health and look for a scheduling method through the Georgia Department of Public Health. So that was the information that I found. I do know that they are currently giving those vaccinations. I've talked to several people in our community that said that they have been successful in getting those appointments. So while I know it's frustrating, this is a pandemic is not something that we deal with every day. And so as we try to get through it, I just ask you to be patient and know that your elected officials from the state level down are aware of the issues, and we're certainly doing everything we can to correct them as best we can. So I hope you find this information informative about Lumpkin County, some of the things that we have been working on, some of the things that we're working on in the future. And once again, I do find it a true honor to serve you as your commission chairman, and please don't hesitate to call me if I can ever be of assistance or if you ever have any issues that need clarification. Thank you again, and God bless Lumpkin County.
Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Northside Hospital Forsyth, our gold sponsor, Truist, and bronze sponsor, Kinetic by Windspring. Thanks all of you for viewing this video and supporting the Chamber and our community. On behalf of the Dahlonega-Lumpkin County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, I would like to thank Chairman Chris Dougherty and Mayor Sam Norton for their leadership of Lumpkin County and Dahlonega.